what is memory as a sport in how you experience it, and how you're an active promoter of it also, as well as a person who engages in the activity of it. So what is it? What
Mhm.
attracts you to it? And what are your what makes it so attractive to you that you become a promoter of it as well as a practitioner?
So for me, it's a bit of a personal story in this regard. And I started memory training, memory sports in 2003. I was watching a TV show and someone was showing some memory skills, and I was very interested at this point into how does it work? Why is this guy capable of memorizing a deck of cards, for example? And I was like, okay, how does it work? I went to the internet and did my research, and I found out about memory competitions. And back then, you need to understand a bit about my background. I have a muscle disease, a muscle dystrophy, which means that nowadays I need to use an electric wheelchair. And in 2003, I was still walking, and it started to affect my body more and more. So I was around 20, and I was affected more and more. I had problems, trouble getting upstairs and stuff like that, and trouble walking, not falling down to the floor. But I was a very competitive person. I love to play table tennis, for example, in the club, and things like that. So I like to do sports and being competitive, but I couldn't do that anymore. And becoming or having this disease in your early 20s means it's a bit like growing old when you're 20, because you're getting slower, you're getting weaker, you fall down, and things like I would have heard from my grandma maybe. And so that affected me mentally very much, because I was really depressed for about 10 years. I was living or fighting depression very hard. And at this point, memory sports came to me somehow, and I was like, I can do that. I can compete with others here, and it's fun. It's somehow unbelievable that it's possible to memorize 400-digit number in 5 minutes. That sounds ridiculous, incredible, and unnecessary also. But in a competitive way, it was a possibility again to compete with others on a high level, and I felt I saw myself going to a top level very fast. So I felt, okay, why I'm so good here? Why what do I do every something different here? I don't know, but I just went with it. So I was going to German championship, to the world championship, and finally won that world championship in 2012. And memory sports is really about having a clear structure of material. So, for example, there are 10 disciplines for example, 5-minute numbers. So you have to memorize as many digits as you can within 5 minutes. Or you have 15-minute words. You have to memorize a list of random words within 15 minutes. So it's really structured, like in physical sports. You have 100 meters to run, you have 200 meters, you have high jump, long jump, and stuff like that. So it's really competitive and structured. And that fascinated me because I was good, and because I felt I got something here, and I felt that helps me somehow to get back on the horse maybe, and travel the world, compete with others. And it really somehow saved my life. Is a bit maybe too much, but it was really helping me here at a very difficult time in my life. And when I wanted to, and at some point I decided I really want to become world champion. So you have to travel to China, to London, and stuff like that. And with such a disease, it's difficult. And in 2011, I was still walking, but if there was just a little bit of wind coming from the side, I was just falling down to the floor, and I couldn't get up by my own anymore. I would have to ask people to help me up again. And but I wanted to become the world champion, and I knew if I want to be that, I have to go to the competition. But I can't do that by walking. So I needed to take a wheelchair. And I felt like I don't want to have a wheelchair because it's so bad. It's like being limited, but actually it's the opposite. So having taking this wheelchair made my life limitless somehow, because I was able to travel again. I was able to walk or roll along the street and watching the nice trees or windows or whatever. While when I was walking, I was staring at my feet, trying not to fall down. So it really was a huge and important step. And becoming world champion was getting back, or I needed to take a wheelchair for that. So I decided to take that, and it was a hard decision, but I never regretted it. In totally opposite, it gave me so much freedom and the possibility to travel to these competitions. So yeah, long story short, but that's actually my story behind Memory Sports.